It's the trifecta. They want to violate 3 constitutional rights, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, all in one scoop. And in this case, it didn't work out for them.
Well, and it seems to me that the overarching issue here is that the government should have standards in place to ensure the safety of all citizens in the conduct of its investigations and actions, even when criminal activity is suspected. In the case of execution of a search warrant for Mr. Malinowski, the ATF appears to have deviated from this premise and standards which are in place, and in fact ended up executing Mr. Malinowski himself.
That's exactly right.
The Constitution secures our rights by placing limits on the federal government's power. Even when an American citizen is suspected of being engaged in unlawful behavior, as you just indicated, the 4th Amendment secures citizens against unreasonable search and seizure. The 5th Amendment ensures due process. The 6th Amendment guarantees has certain rights for criminal defendants, and the 8th Amendment is protects us against cruel and unusual punishment. Mr. Cummins, is it fair to say that a responsible execution of a search warrant is one of the primary mechanisms that we have in place to guarantee an American's rights in criminal proceedings?
I can't imagine what the British were doing to people that would be worse than what happened to Brian Malinowski on March 19th that would have brought about the 4th Amendment to the Constitution.
Mr. Graham, do you have any recommendations of how to address the situation we're describing today to ensure that this does not happen again? What kind of reforms should Congress take up to make sure that we can protect Mr. Malinowski and other people like him?
Madam Congresswoman, once again, having limited exposure to the warrant process and or the execution, I would defer to Congress creating whatever laws, regulations they deem appropriate to be delegated to the appropriate enforcement agency.
Mr. Kleckner, what about you? What recommendations would you have?
I agree with Mr. Graham. I think Congress's oversight here is really important. I think what you asked me earlier about the administrative overreach is these administrative agencies specifically going against what Congress has put into place, like the Gun Control Act or like the willfulness requirement.
Between the bump stocks and the pistol braces and those things, what we have are agencies who are intentionally adopting vague rules and regulations in order to criminalize lawful and constitutional conduct. It needs to end. I appreciate you all being here. I am sorry for your loss as well, Ms. Malinowski. We have to expose these types of activities so that we can prevent them from happening in the future. With that, I yield back.